The cultural machinery around global football demands an immediate heir to the throne. The moment a generational talent steps away from Europe, the media begins a frantic search for the exact player who will replace them. But evaluating a 37-year-old who has already completed a legendary 2-decade run against an active teenager is a categorical error. You are comparing a finished historical resume to a player who just got his driver's license. Lamine Yamal represents an exceptionally high-value modern asset, attempting to outpace historical records on a compressed timeline. To evaluate these two accurately, we have to strip out the nostalgia and the current media hype. We need to freeze them both precisely at age 19 to see exactly how their statistical trajectories line up. This graph illustrates the central trade-off. We are weighing velocity, the speed of acquiring early-stage milestones, against volume, 20 years of uninterrupted, sustained output. Look at the blank space on Yamal's timeline. Betting on him is high risk, whereas Messi's timeline is a locked commodity. We cannot resolve this debate by looking at career totals. We have to limit the scope and see exactly what each player had delivered on the pitch the day they turned 19. Elite European football is a harsh environment, built on razor-thin margins. Earning minutes on this stage usually requires years of physical and tactical maturation. Yamal bypassed that waiting period entirely. By 19, he had secured a starting position for Barcelona, taken the number 10 shirt, and won a major international tournament as a starter for Spain. He captured major European hardware and individual scoring milestones at a significantly faster statistical velocity than his predecessor. At that exact same biological age, Messi was largely an emerging rotational prospect. He was still adapting his body to the senior team, rather than leading international tournament victories. Securing these massive achievements early creates a mathematical problem called baseline inflation. Hitting the ceiling at age 19 permanently warps the market's expectation for the rest of a player's career. Because his starting floor is so high, if Yamal does not capture multiple Champions League titles throughout his 20s, the public and the market will label him a disappointment. Both players share the exact same tactical foundation. They were developed in an academy system meticulously designed to prioritize close ball control and spatial awareness in tight areas. Yamal executes those mechanics differently. He takes that tight, intricate dribbling and aggressively pairs it with high-intensity, explosive sprints down the wing. This hybrid approach gives him immediate physical dominance against veteran defenders and allows him to instantly stretch the field for his club. Messi relied far less on raw top speed early on. He bypassed defenders utilizing a very low center of gravity, predictive timing, and precise balance to glide through traffic. There is a severe physical trade-off for Yamal's style. Relying heavily on explosive acceleration at a young age puts immense structural strain on developing ligaments, significantly increasing the mathematical probability of lower body injuries over a 10-year span. To survive a 20-year career, he cannot rely on his current physical advantages. He will be forced to execute a drastic tactical evolution to remain effective as his natural athleticism declines. The commercial landscape of modern football moves much faster today. Massive institutional money immediately attaches itself to teenagers the second they show statistical promise. This matrix outlines their financial profiles at age 19. Yamal's estimated market valuation already sits around 200 million euros, vastly outpacing the age-adjusted equivalent from previous eras. He has immediately locked in blue-chip partnerships with brands like Apple, Adidas, and Beats, rapidly generating immense wealth and positioning himself as the fastest-growing commercial asset in modern sports. Messi's commercial portfolio looks completely different. It took decades of compounded on-pitch success, individual awards, and a World Cup to build his brand into its current state. Front-loading this kind of commercial success introduces serious off-pitch friction. Yamal is carrying the global brand expectations of a 10-year veteran while he is still biologically and emotionally developing. This rapid financial velocity makes him an incredibly volatile asset. He is rich in potential, but capturing that value entirely depends on his ability to block out the pressure and avoid early burnout. We can stop comparing raw individual numbers now and look at a strict framework to help you resolve this debate based on your own criteria. If you strictly measure major trophies won and total market cap accumulated before turning 20, Yamal wins the teenage comparison definitively. This decision tree splits your evaluation. If you prioritized current market cap, early milestones, and maximum ceiling, Yamal is optimal. If you demand undeniable historical volume and proven compounded achievements, Messi's output remains entirely untouchable. The title of greatest requires the objective safety of historical completion, something mathematical velocity alone cannot guarantee. Yamal currently holds the steepest upward trajectory ever measured for a young footballer. The start to his career is mathematically phenomenal, but the challenge ahead of him is no longer about raw talent. It is about surviving the brutal, compounding physical attrition of professional sports. It requires the psychological endurance to wake up, absorb intense media scrutiny, and deliver elite, high-stakes performances for the next 15 to 20 years without breaking down. Yamal is carving an entirely new, highly accelerated path to greatness. So the final judgment is yours. Will Yamal survive the trajectory trap to become a fully realized historical asset? Or is 20 years of compounded volume a standard that no modern player can match?